Hello everyone, and thanks for stopping by to Scrap and Craft with Terry. Today we're going to make a couple tags from envelopes, and we're just using old junk mail envelopes. And I saw this on Kenlon's YouTube channel, and if you haven't seen any of her videos, stop over and watch because she makes some of the cutest little things. She has the niftiest ideas. And her idea with the envelopes to make tags out of was because the envelopes are thin, so it's not taking up a lot of bulky space in your journal when you put your tags in. So we're going to give it a whirl and see if ours turns out very good. I know hers was really cute. So we're going to go ahead and get started. If you like my video, I just ask that you give me a thumbs up and check out my other ones. Now, for the size of your tag, you're going to have to kind of go by your page. Now, this is my faux journal page, and this is just the 8 by 11.5 folded in half. So I would probably want to cut some of this off just to make it a smaller tag. So I think. Now, some of these, like the longer envelopes, would probably work really good if you had, maybe we'll cut it off about there. If you was making bigger or taller journals. And this I can use for a pocket. But we're going to leave the width on this one. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue this. I just want to glue around this outside. Well, it doesn't really matter because we're not going to use the inside for anything. So we're just going to glue this down. And then we'll glue this shut. Okay. Now, when she did this, she started with the back of her tag, and she did like ledger paper or graph paper, something that you can journal on. So we're just going to give these two papers here a whirl and see how they turn out. I like this side of the graph paper. I think I'm going to use this for the small one. Now, she did the one side where it was even with the back, but then you tear some off of this side, and I'll show you why in a minute. I think we'll just go ahead and glue this right to the paper, and then I'll cut it out. And you can use whatever kind of glue that you want. I think I'll just, now I'll leave it back a little bit and I'll trim it off. Move this paper out of the way. So that's going to be the back of our envelope, and that'll give you writing space. So I'm going to cut this a little bigger than what I need it. And then I'm going to just cut across the top here. and cut down this side. And if you cut your envelope open, you can just glue it back shut. I didn't cut that very straight. There we go. Now I'll cut this a little straighter. There, I think that's better. Now, you have to decide what you want for your top and what you want for your bottom. Now these numbers are going this way, so this would be our top. So we're going to tear this. And it can be haphazardly torn. You don't have to do anything special with it other than tear it. And then she folded this over. And brought this to the front just to incorporate the back with the front. Mine looked better if I had some of this on the front. But this is what we're going with. And I'll trim that off after I glue it. Okay. So then she used like just book page or something on the front. And this is just a digital that I had, or a printable that I had printed. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that and glue that down. Maybe I should just glue it first. I think I will. Well, that was a big bubble. I haven't made any of these, so, and I hope I was on camera. Geez, I was clear down here somewhere. Clear down here. I haven't made any of these yet, so. Sometimes I'll try one before I do, so I know that it's going to turn out right, and other times I just don't try it. Then it doesn't always turn out so good. Okay. So I'm just going to fold this back a little bit and glue this down here. So this is like a quick and easy project, and you know, if you have an excessive amount of envelopes that you really don't know what to do with, you know, this would be another good way to use them up. Now, I just really don't think this is how she did it, but I don't remember her putting, I think she had her paper already cut out, but I didn't get that far. Yeah, that'll be okay. Okay, now she folded this part over just to bring it over to the front. And which ones did I have for this? I can't even remember. I think this one. Now, You can, if you feel that you want something to go under here to like come out, if you have a tag or something, then you don't have to glue this down right away. You can wait until you're ready, you know, if you put something under there. I'm probably not explaining it very good. But if you're not going to hide anything or put anything underneath the flap, you know, part way or that, you can glue it down anytime. And then with this folded over, we'll just ink this a little bit, this a little bit. I'll just ink around here. I like the color of this paper. So if your paper has a direction to it, you want to pay attention to what's the top and what's the bottom. Okay. So when I do this, I'm going to just have the books on here and maybe this way. I didn't really know how long I was going to make this, so I wasn't really sure how these were going to lay out on here. I think I want the books over here for sure. But do I want this over here and these this way? I'm not really sure. I think before we do too much though, I'm not gonna have anything under my flap, so I'm gonna go ahead and glue my flap down and cut my angles in for my tag. I like to try to make for sure that I have it all figured out, but if it's not cut to the right size, you can't always figure it out. But I think this project here could really be fun and addicting. We'll just cut this off. And what did I do with it? Okay. I'm not sure if I want the really long one or the little bit shorter one. I think I want one that's a little bit longer because the tag is kind of wide. And then we'll have to glue this back shut. Now wait a minute, get it at the right end. Good thing I looked. I would have had an upside down tag. And I would have had to have started my video over. Okay, yeah, I like that. All right, so let's see. Had my glue open because I was using it just a couple minutes ago. We'll just stick this in here and squirt some glue. Close this up. Now we'll just ink it a little bit. And with the envelope and the paper, it makes it pretty stable. So you don't have to worry about having a wimpy tag. Okay, so let's try this again. So this can be a tag for like a book journal or something. Someone that likes to read and listen to music. Now I'm not really sure if the musical instruments or that go right on there. But I want to go ahead and glue this down. This could be another one of them mass makes where you could just make a whole bunch of these tags and have them ready to go. I don't really know if I need them on there, but I really ain't gonna know that, am I? One down there and one up there? I don't think so. And I don't want to waste too much time on it. Well, I think I'll just do that anyway. Whether it's right or whether it's wrong. Okay, and I think that's all I'm going to put on there. You can add a word to it, whatever you think you might like. I'm going to go ahead and punch a hole in it. Try to make it so it's about in the center somewhere. Okay, then I like how she did her tie. So this is just a piece of lighter weight linen, and I just tore some. And she said, now you can use yarn or lace or anything. But I like the way some of the ladies do these, because they'll do that and then they just use a thinner, like a thinner string, and tie it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tie it. And you can leave your strings to go with your fabric, or you can cut them off. I think I want to just cut these a little bit. And I don't know if I want the string on there, so I'm just going to cut the string off, I think. If I wouldn't have cut it, I could have tied a little bow, huh? Nah, it's too short. We'll just cut it. Okay. So that's our first one. And I think that's kind of cute. You could put a word or something on it. Now on our long one, I know I'm going to want it a lot shorter. We can do this one for a taller tag. Let me see. Yeah, we can do this one for a taller tag. We'll cut it off about here. And again, I can use this for a pocket. And then we're just going to glue this shut. This time, this is my paper for the background, and I've used this paper before. I mean, for the back of it. I guess I gotta glue this shut. And this paper here is light enough that you can write on it, so you won't have trouble journaling on it. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue this to my back, the back of my page. So now when you do these, like on the other one, we had these lines, so you can kind of look to see what part of the paper you want brought to the front, and then lay your envelope down so you can bring that part around. And then you would have more of a background design on the front. I'm going to cut this one bigger again. I'm going to cut it a little bit bigger this time so I can have a little bit more come over. I'm sure you can have however much come to the front that you want. You don't want it to take over the whole front, but I think bringing that background to the front, it's just a pretty nifty idea. Makes it look pretty cool. Okay. Now, so far it doesn't really matter. So we'll have this one on this side this time. And I think I'm going to tear it along in here so I have a little bit more of it showing. Because I like this. Okay, if I can get my fingers wrapped around it the way it's supposed to go. There. Okay, so I like that. I like this paper. And on the front of this one, I'm going to use this paper And it looks like like a really old newspaper. White Plains Gazette. Says 1928. Or no, that says, I think it says 1828. So that's pretty cool. And I think these colors go good together. I'm just going to put glue on the front here and lay my paper on there. Maybe that's what she did. Makes better sense, huh? I really need to go buy me some more Fabri-Tac. Yes, I think this is probably what she did. See, it takes a minute for it to sink in. I haven't watched the video again since the other day, so we'll just bring it up to the edge of our envelope. I'll take this down just a little and trim it. Make sure this folds over. I think so. And we'll just flatten that down. And then we'll cut this off. I have to remember, stay up here by the camera where I belong. Try not to cut the envelope open. Okay. Now we'll ink this. Let me see, did I ink this after I folded it? Yes, I think I did. Yes, I did. So how's everyone doing today? I don't think I asked. Sometimes I just get in the zone and I kind of forget. So again, this makes a nice tag. Just feels good. All right, let's see, where did I put my stuff? Here it is. Now this one's going to be like a gardening one. These were from Hither and Yon Studios. So she makes a lot of pretty things. So let's see. I think I can't even remember how I had these. Not at all. I should have took a picture. Generally, I will take a picture. And I don't think I did. Let me see. Put my scissors on there. So it'll hold it down. I should have figured this all out before I came on. I want to say that these went up here somehow, but I have to leave room for my, and then I think I had this over here on the edge. I could even have that go over that stamp a little bit. Let me go ahead and glue this stamp down. I think this is the right way. I think I'll just put it down here a little bit more. And I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. Well, wait a minute, I have to glue this down. I just really like the way this paper folds over to the front side. I like that. Now let's see. I could probably just have these like this. I think it might be all right. And again, you could put a little word or something on it. I didn't even think of that, so I'm not going to. I don't think you have to overly decorate them. And, you know, I like the background papers and that. I think they're pretty. Probably something could go right here, and maybe I should have moved these over just a little, but I should have cut my angles, and I didn't. Hopefully I don't cut my glove off, huh? Nope. Okay, let's see what needs to be glued shut here. And here. And I really think something should be there. See if I can get this in the center again, about halfway. And then we're going to do the same thing with our fabric. Made sure I cut them longer so I could cut them shorter instead of them being too short. Let's see. Maybe I can do a bow. I can do bows when I'm not on the camera. When I get on here, I'm just all fumble fingers. So we'll just make this a little smaller and this a little smaller. And I don't know if I like that. I don't think it hangs right. I'm not going to leave it on there. I will tie one more knot and that's it. And then I'll just cut my, let me see, I'm just going to cut them this way, like that. And that'll be different. Okay. So there's our journaling space on the back. And I just think these are so cute. And then if you had a pocket on your page, then your tag could slide down in that pocket. And wouldn't that look nice? I think that would look very nice. Okay, everyone, so let me know down in the comments what you think. And I hope you come back to see me for my next video, whatever that might be. And until then, everyone, have a wonderful day and happy crafting. Bye for now.